To build a completely new business. This video is actually sponsored by Shopify, which is perfect because Shopify now actually has AI features built in as well. Now, almost every single Friday, I do these Twitter Spaces with a amazing group of other AI enthusiasts where we talk about the latest news, we answer questions, and we share insights into where we think the world of AI is going. Well, recently, on the last handful of Twitter Spaces, people have made comments about how I should have some shirts or some swag or some merch of some sort. So I figured that'd be a fun video to make. Let's build an online store and try to use AI for as much of the building process as possible. So to start, let's get some ideas from our old friend ChatGPT. Now, I am putting one sort of constraint on myself for what I'm actually going to put into the store for this specific video. I'm going to avoid selling shirts. And there's one major reason I'm avoiding selling shirts in this specific store. And that reason is when I do sell shirts, I want them to be the highest quality possible. Now, there are print-on-demand sites like Printful and Printify that do a pretty decent job of print-on-demand shirts. However, in my experience in the past, I've never been a huge fan of the quality of these print-on-demand shirts. So I am working with a company who's actually sourcing some really, really high-quality shirts for me, and I really want to wait until they're all set up to start selling those shirts in this store. Now, for the sake of this demonstration, I could just use Printful or Printify or one of these print-on-demand services that make selling shirts really, really easy, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. However, I don't want to essentially punish the people who buy the shirts the earliest, right? If you're watching this video and you go and order one of those shirts, and a month from now I have much better, much higher quality shirts, the people that ordered the earliest and wanted to support this new store the quickest are the ones that end up with the worst quality product. So I'm going to avoid the shirt route. Plus, it puts some extra fun constraints on the process where we could use ChatGPT to get some other ideas while taking the most obvious idea out of the equation. I'm building an online merch store for my brand. My YouTube channel is simply my name, Matt Wolf, and my website is called Future Tools. Both the channel and the website focus on the latest news, advancements, tools, and tutorials in the world of artificial intelligence. I need some ideas for merch that my audience would enjoy. I won't be selling shirts to start, so that isn't an option at the moment. What are some ideas for both the types of merch I can sell and the designs or text that could go on the merch? AI notebooks. Physical notebooks for jotting down ideas, plans, and thoughts. They can have interesting covers like neural network illustrations, a representation of AI tools, or even AI-themed jokes or quotes. Examples: I speak fluent Python, AI in progress, or training my neural networks. Not bad. I can see selling AI notebooks. That's not too bad. Mugs. Mugs are very popular merchandise. You could have designs that are fun and related to AI. Phrases like caffeine and AI, brewing ideas with AI, or an image of a robot enjoying a cup of coffee. I like those ideas. You could sell posters featuring inspiring quotes about the future of AI. Not too sold on the posters. Stickers that could feature a range of things from simple colorful logos to catchy AI-related phrases or iconic AI images. Caps, embroidered or printed with AI-themed icons or phrases. The caps kind of fall into that same category as the t-shirts, where I want to make sure if I am selling something like hats, they are just that highest quality possible. So I think I'm going to skip out on caps until the company I'm working with to source some of the other clothing stuff is ready to go with that merch. Webcam covers. I didn't even know that was a thing that people buy. I mean, I know some webcams come with covers. I didn't know that was like an aftermarket thing that people did. Designs or text could be a mix of serious and playful, reflecting the innovative but approachable personality of your brand. Oh, well, thank you. You could use AI-related puns, famous quotes about AI or the future, or create your own catchphrases. So there's some decent ideas in here. I think I like the idea of AI notebooks, mugs, maybe mouse pads, and maybe phone cases. Let's open up a notepad here and start jotting down some of these ideas. There's also some decent slogans in here. So the AI notebooks, I really like training my neural networks. That's a good one. Pop this into our notepad here. For the mug, I really like this. Brewing ideas with AI, that's a good one. All right, so I'm going to feed ChatGPT some more context here. I'm going to start with notebooks and mugs. What are some additional slogans or catchy AI puns that I can include? Keep calm and let AI handle it. I like that one. This one's kind of cool. Machine learning, copy in, code out. I really, really like this one. Artificial intelligence, natural creativity. That almost perfectly represents almost everything I stand for with the channel and what I do. The ideas are creative ideas, and then artificial intelligence brings them into reality. Up with an AI symbol or a robot brewing coffee. Keep calm and let the AI handle it. A classic keep calm style image, but with an AI or robot symbol at the top. Keep calm. Okay, so this sort of keep calm and carry on logo, but maybe instead of this crown at the top, it's like a robot head or something. All right, so we've got some ideas here. Now I need a place to get these printed, and we also need to generate some potential images from it. So first of all, let's look at some potential printers so I can figure out exactly what I need in terms of text and images and stuff like that. Now, the two sites that I'm aware of are Printful and Printify. These are both print-on-demand providers that have a lot of options for things that you can sell. Okay, so we can get notebooks from them. Their spiral notebook is $11.95. Hardcover bound notebook is $12.95. Personally, I prefer the look of the hardcover, so we'll probably go that direction. Ultimately, I think I'm going to go with Printful for a few different reasons. Number one, it's just one single manufacturer with locations all over the world. So what you're going to get is very, very consistent. Where Printify sort of sources different vendors all over the place, they are not themselves the actual printer.
Here at SRS. I'm talking about Dr. Stephen Greer. He's back. This time we're talking about zero-point energy, and we're talking about technologies that have been hidden from us and the U.S. government by companies such as Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman. And if you think this is a little out there, think again, because the U.S. Senate and the U.S. Congress are both digging into this subject matter to get to the bottom of it. Next week, we have 3 of the 5 whistleblowers that Dr. Greer brought in front of Congress to testify about these technologies that they have had first-hand accounts seeing. They're going to be right here on SRS to give those exact same testimonies. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like the show, if you like the information we're putting out, please go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, and I see a lot of you have been out there making content, ripping our content off and putting it out on the internet. I love it. Looks amazing. We made it super easy for you. We put a ton of raw reels, links in the description. Take them, make content, produce badass stuff. If we like it, we'll share it, monetize it, make money off of it. All we ask is that you please just tag our show in it. That's all we ask. Anyways, love you all. This is an awesome episode. It has a ton of information in it. In the next 2 weeks is all this subject. Love you all. Enjoy the show. Cheers. Dr. Greer, welcome back to the Sean Ryan Show.
I'm glad to be here. It's always good to see you.
We've been seeing a lot of each other. So, I just got back from your whistleblower conference and the premiere of your new documentary and the National Press Club event. A ton of good information came out of that, stuff that nobody's ever heard.
Yeah.
Extremely well put together event, by the way.
Oh, thank you. All volunteers.
Was it really?
100% volunteers.
Incredible event. From start to finish. Me and my friend Carter, who was the one to connect us, we just had a fantastic time and learned so much. And so we got a lot to talk about today. Diving into some of the whistleblower stuff. We're actually getting a handful of the whistleblowers that I think they came out of this show with your first interview. Is I correct?
Some of them had contacted me and been involved before, some since. And of course, once that law got passed, allowing a pathway for them to testify about what they knew, notwithstanding their non-disclosure agreements, that sort of opened up a whole new tranche of people willing to come forward. And that process, I think we're having a couple of new whistleblowers every week now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Per week, yeah.
Well, we're going to dive into all of that, and thank you for connecting me with them, by the way. So let me give you a proper introduction here, even though you don't need one. But Dr. Stephen Greer, you just came out with a new documentary, The Lost Century, which is #1 on iTunes, #1 on Amazon, #1 on anything else?
Google Play, all the sites.
Everything. Yeah. #1 documentary release. Retired emergency doctor, founder of the Disclosure Project, documentarian, author, and leading authority on UFO, UAP intelligence. You've briefed multiple presidents. You've briefed the agency. You've briefed Congress, I believe. Recently, you presented evidence of the illegal black budget projects related to UFO,
what's
UAP
up, guys?
operations.
I'm trying to set up a
And you have
live on Instagram as well.
Years experience working in the UFO, UAP arena.
Right.
Am I missing anything?
That's good enough.
All right, you're on
But we got a lot to cover. Like I said, we need to cover the Disclosure Project. We need to cover the Lost Century documentary. A little bit of the whistleblower stuff. Your documentary all about 0 Point Energy. Fascinating stuff. What I'd like to do is, I'm not 100% spun up on some of the things that you were talking about. That I think a lot of the rest of the audience was pretty spun up about. And I don't think my audience is 100% spun up on all of these topics either.
Right.
Hey,
So I
good
just
morning,
want to go
everyone.
through some basic stuff to help me and the audience understand what we're about to talk about a little bit more when it comes to the black budgets and stuff like that. So a lot of these companies that, are part of the military-industrial complex, if you will, I've had a lot of experience with Lockheed, with Raytheon, with these types of companies.
Hello.
Nothing holding you back. Good morning, your thing.
Good morning. You on the road?
I am. I'm on my way to work.
Oh, wow.
Are you taking a week off?
I took Friday and Monday off, and then I had a situation happen that now I need to take another day off. Let's see.
Everything all right?
Yeah, but a tree
Oh my gosh.
from the neighbor's property fell in my yard, and yesterday it was raining, but today the property owner says she'll try to get out here and get her maintenance guy out here to chop this thing up, and I kind of just want to be here when they're here in my yard. So I was like, and she said she couldn't get here until 10 o'clock, so I was like, well, I just think I'd rather be here. But
I can't hear you. You're breaking up on me. It's probably the zone that I'm in.
Huh. All right.
Now I can hear you.
But yeah, so she can't get here until around 10. So
Sure.
I figured I'll just have to. Yeah, it's always something.
Yeah.
So.
I know I just came off a week of vacation and I'm exhausted.
I can imagine. Sometimes you need a break from your break, you know.
I know. I was busting my butt all week 'cause my son graduated and we had his party on Saturday, and so I was doing all kinds of crap to get ready for that. So
Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
sound.
tired.
It doesn't sound like a lot of downtime.
No, it wasn't.
Oh man.
That's all right. It's all good.
Yeah. Good little break.
That's a good killer.
Thank you. It's I don't know, it's slow going, but it's coming along nice. I'm having a lot of fun with it right now.
Yeah, that hand looks amazing. Oh my gosh. What's he holding? This tablet?
He's holding
A book? Oh, it's a book.
yep. So
Oh, nice. Fantastic.
yeah,
Great.
it's coming along slowly but surely.
Hands are looking awesome.
Yeah, the background took like weeks with all the bricks and everything. It took a while for me to get through the background, but now I can. I've been working on the skin tone for a couple of days.
That's fantastic.
It's coming along pretty good.
Wow, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's starting to pop now. So this is my favorite part of the process. Like this layer of paint where you can start seeing the details come to life, and I don't know. I'm like
Yeah, with all that detail in and the sweat and cords and everything, right?
yeah. And it was such a bright day, so that the deep shadows, I really enjoy the contrast in the deep shadows and the highlights. So this is a very fun painting. Once I got through the background, like those bricks and the background just kind of kicked my butt for weeks, but now I'm happy I'm over that part. So now it's on to like a more
How
smoother
many
part.
hours do you have in that so far? Do you know?
Woo! I took the photo in April, and I think I started it in May. I'm probably about 50 hours into it, for about 40 hours,
Yeah.
something like that, maybe 40, 50 hours. But it's getting close to the end point now. So I'm thinking maybe another 20 hours. Because I got the bulk of it is done. The book cover is gonna be easy, and his clothing should be fairly easy. But it was just the bricks and the background. It just, I don't know. It took so long to get all of that done. But now I think I can kind of like just roll the rest of it out pretty easy. Especially after I get through with the skin tone, then like I said, everything else would be fairly simple.
gonna sign off. I'm almost there.
Well, I appreciate you jumping in and chat with me this morning. I sure do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, good luck with the car.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any major damage to it. The windows or anything isn't broken, but
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Good to hear.
So, but just
Definitely take lots of pictures.
yeah, exactly, and just to have people on the property. So we'll see. I hope everything is fine.
Absolutely.
All right, don't work
All right,
too
man.
don't work too hard.
Thanks.
But
All right, I'll see ya.
that was one of my first of all one of my art buddies is how I really know her, and then is it oil? Yes. So that was one of my art buddies, and we've known each other for years and years. And then she actually got a job with the organization I work with. So my primary paints are Gamblin and Winsor Newton. So I do underpaintings. So all of the less detailed part, um, it's basically just his clothing and the bench now. So the underpainting, the big heavy strokes, the blocking in, setting the course, trying to understand the path you're going to take, laying out your palette, and getting your color tones correct. So that first initial layer of paint, I use the big tubes of Winsor Newton, Winton oil colors. You can see like these, all my bigger tubes. And why do I use this for the bulk of the first part is because they're really good oils and they're really inexpensive. And so you can buy these bigger tubes for not so much money. And it will make a very decent base for your painting. So I start my paintings with the Winsor and Newton Winton colors, and then I finish my paintings with Gamblin. And I do have a bunch of Winsor Newton colors in here too, but for the most part, like my top layer is Gamblin. There are, like I said, Winsor and Newton is a really good color. I mean, a really good paint. So their cadmium orange, I prefer that over Gamblin's. Even their Winsor and Newton's black is a little bit better. And Winsor and Newton's Van Dyke Brown. Where's my Van Dyke Brown? Anyway, I think I prefer like some colors, but in the end, like Gamblin is just a really durable, high quality performance paint, and it just shows. Like you can see it, you know. You can just Gamblin is just it's something about it. This shit is just so buttery and so smooth and it's just like I don't know. Oh, thank you. What? But yeah, they're oil colors. Um, Oil paints, rather. And I'm trying to work on his hand. Do you varnish your paintings? Yeah, you have to. It's mandatory to varnish your work. So I do 2 layers. So I do it's kind of a prep varnish. It's called touch up. So you can do a touch up varnish on oil paintings maybe after 2 or 3 weeks of them drying, and then if you keep that piece for a year or so, like maybe 8 or 9 months after it's done, you should put a Dumar varnish. It's a heavier, more protective varnish, and I'll do a spray on varnish as soon as they're done, and if I don't sell them in a while, and then when I do sell artwork that hasn't had that Dumar varnish on it, I always suggest to the client, like, maybe in a year you take this to a professional framer or somebody, and you let them put a varnish on it for you. So, but there's and I guess I actually need more, because once again, Winsor and Newton, they make really good products, man. So, like, Winsor and Newton is not a bad company. Some people be like, they'll look at it like, oh, that shit is cheap. Exactly, but it's good. And that's the hard part to get, yo. Like, Winsor and Newton just make good products, and they're cheap. You wouldn't think that, for that price range you can get good stuff, but yeah, I definitely support their stuff. I've used it for years and years, and it's because my mentor uses it, and so that's where I learned it from. And my mentor he's a legit like a master artist. Like, he's totally legit master art level, and he uses Winsor as his primary. And if I'm not mistaken, it may be the only paint that he uses. And then the only reason I started using Gamblin is because I was in New York, and I got a chance to meet Tim Akamura at his studio at the Redbird Gallery studio in Manhattan, and sitting there chatting with him, and he was literally working on a painting. So I'm sitting there like watching this dude work, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, bro. So I'm trying to peep all his brushes, his paints, and his solvents. I'm trying to watch his hand motions and his fucking techniques and shit. And I'm looking, and he's like, the only paint he has out is Gamblin. I've never even heard of that shit. I'm like, so I'm just asking, I'm like, is this the only paint you use? He was like, yeah, Gamblin's a really good paint, man. And then he said, when I really make it big, and this motherfucker already is a big artist, so this, just by him saying that part to start with, he's like, when I really make it big, I'm just buy all Old Holland, everything Old Holland. So in that one instant, he taught me about 2 different paint companies or brands of paint. And so I never knew about Gamblin, and never heard of Old Holland. And so I looked up Old Holland, and like, for their little tubes of paint, man, that shit be like $34. I was like, God, woo! I had 2 Old Holland colors. And them shits was about $70, and I still got one of them, I think, a little bit of it. I be trying to use that shit so sparingly, so sparingly. But so it really all depends on what you're trying to do with your paint, though. Oh, definitely you've done it too early and fucking ruined some shit. Oh, many a times, and that's why I start spraying it. I'm not gonna lie. I used I used to use the touch up pour on varnish, and it's like, but sometimes you can you can test the canvas and rub it here and rub it there, and it's not really tacky to the touch, and it's like, all right, I can go ahead and throw a little varnish on this thing real quick, like, and then you do the pour on varnish, and as soon as you start trying to brush that bitch in, I'm pulling colors everywhere, left and right, on a completely finished painting. Now I just pull black paint onto the white part, and I pull red paint onto the yellow part. I'm like, what the fuck? I just fucked this whole shit up. I'm getting frustrated just thinking about the times I've done that, and I've done it more than once. Just like, god damn it! And the shit it's been sitting for, like I say, 2-3 weeks, and you think, oh, I can go at it, and no, you can't. And so now I spray it. I'm not even trying to put no heavy brush or nothing to it no more, man. I just, after a couple weeks, I just spray it, and then I let it sit for months and months and months and months, and then I'll put a brush on. I'll brush on some Dumar varnish to finish it off. But in the beginning, I'm tired of go get a spray can, and then sometimes that varnish will help. See, the thing too with oil paints, they don't dry. There's no, it's oil, so there is no water in it. So it literally hardens or cures. So oil paints have to harden or cure until they're able to be handled. But if it's, 3 weeks after you've finished it, and if it's not completely cured in some places, which honestly a complete curation takes about a year, and that's why most people wait, anywhere from 8 to 10 months before they put a heavy varnish on it. But when it's hard enough to handle, just putting that spray on sealer, and just lock it in a little bit more. It won't actually damage it. It won't necessarily speed up the curing time, but it will add a dry layer on top of the oils. So I don't know. I think it's useful. Or you could, store your painting somewhere for 3 or 4 months, and then put a light brush to it. But I be having so many paint in so many places. I be needing to fucking get these things varnished and set to the side somewhere. And I hate stacking them up against each other without that some kind of layer on it to start with. I think I'm making that nail a little too bright, actually. It's not, because it's still in the shadow of the book. So let me see if I can just. Darken that up a little bit, but there is like this one little rim light that you can barely see. It's barely there, like right here, right there, and then right along the side, right here. You can barely see it, you know what I'm saying? But it'll still make it pop out a little bit, just a teeny weeny bit. Alright, so all of that is, I think that maybe okay. Now we're going to try to finish out the back of the hand here. I don't like this at all, actually. Let me see. Now that I look at it, I don't like that part right there. It was too sharp. Let's try to. I'm gonna come back with solid white on the knuckles, but I don't want as many harsh lines right there just yet. All right, that's a little bit softer. Gotta make it a little soft. Okay, and now we got that. Actually, let's grab some red and see if we can add just slight more details in like the folds. Add a couple more folds in there. And maybe, see, there's one like this. Or is it? Yeah. I got this brush set right here from Temu, yo. I got 15 fine detail brushes off of Temu. These little teeny brushes like this, they may not last for a long time, but 15 brushes for $1.80 or something. I thought it was a scam. Ain't no way in hell you gonna give me 15 brushes for less than $2. What kind of scam is this? But guess what? It's not a scam. They're not the greatest brushes in the world, but they're definitely not terrible. I mean, I'm using them. I mean, hey, they're working okay for me for right now. The thing is the longevity of it, how long these bristles gonna stay nice and straight like that and do what I want them to do. Are they gonna start warping and bending and falling out? I mean, once I, after I paint with them twice or something. Then they're gonna have to go to the paintbrush graveyard where all the other valiant heroic brushes have gone before. I wanna deepen up this shadow. Actually, I wanna widen up this shadow. Actually, I wanna darken up and widen up. So now a little wider like that. And alright, this shadow it's not so heavy on the bottom. So let's do it here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We are currently live on YouTube as well. I normally don't give instructional voiceovers or content while I paint. I normally just talk about dumb shit because, you know why? I'm not Bob Ross. You feel me? We don't have happy little mistakes over here. We fuck shit up or we get shit right. It's the only way, man. That's why I'm a hard teacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tough teacher. You know, I'm gonna tell you like my mentor told me. That shit don't look good. Do better. Now, one thing my mentor kept telling me for years, make it darker. I'm like, okay, no, make it darker. I'm like, bruh, make it, it's too light, make it darker. I used to hear that shit so fucking much. I used to be scared as shit of dark colors. I don't want it to be black. It ain't gotta be black. It can be damn near black. It's not black. It's really close to it, but this is actually red and purple. You know, a little brown. You gotta make it darker. Why it gotta be so dark? That way, you can see the contrast. Everything is light and shadow. Everything. The deeper the contrast, the deeper the depth of field, the more realistic you will make a flat surface look, three-dimensional. So make it darker. I'm like, oh. And then once I figured that shit out, once I really started to see what he was saying, I'm like, okay, I feel you now. Gotta make it darker. I gotta check my email soon. I need to email somebody. I'm trying to wait for a response of yay or nay. Because if it's a nay, then, and I don't gotta go no way, then I might go cut the grass. I might cut grass. I normally do that shit on Saturdays. But, I'm feeling kind of, I'm feeling I feel a little bouncy this morning. You know what I'm saying? Why won't it let me? I'm trying to wave. It won't let me. That's weird. I know the feeling. Well, I appreciate you stepping in, being part of the conversation. Thank you very much. Don't let them work you too hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just a job. Don't let them work you too hard. That's the one reason I really love my job. Man, my job is so supportive of, I don't know. One of our mottos is family first. And so my job understands, motherfucker, you got a life. You have a life outside of what you do to earn money to live your life. And so if shit come up like now, I have this weird ass incident where a tree fell in my backyard, and it's not on it's the neighbor's tree. And we've had like some rainy weather for the past couple of days. It should be a pretty decent day today. And I just told my job, like, yo, XYZ happened. I need to be home today. And they're like, okay, cool. Let us know if you need any help, assistance, anything we can do. Just let us know. And I'm like, thank you so much. Very understanding. And I've never, ever, ever had employment like this before, where the organization knows, like, motherfuckers got a life, yo. So, still don't let them work you too hard. Like, my job can't even work me too hard. It feels almost impossible for them to overwork me. Yo, word, bro. Like, my job is legit the fucking shit. I can't even lie, bro. I have one of the best jobs. It's an office setting. I get to work with kids and teach kids art and STEM projects. I teach classes inside the prison, with doing like art therapy and healthy relationships and like money management. And I help people who are getting out of prison just find jobs, you know what I'm saying, and help them write resumes and look for like stable places to live. Like, I do like cool shit, bro. My job is cool. Let me see. Are there pictures on here? I might. Oh no. I don't got no video. Bro, this is my day at work, making fucking straw rockets with kids, bro. I get paid to do this. Yeah, this is my job, bro. Who gets paid to do that? Do you get paid to make rockets and go play with kids outside on a beautiful ass day and have rocket shooting contests? Like, come on. Do I have anything else for my job in here? Like, my job is. This is me doing a commercial at my job for the mural that I painted on my job. It doesn't want to play. I hate when that shit buffers. Anyway, I did a mural on our office building and got paid hella money for the mural. And then somebody wanted to do a commercial of the mural. This is my work. I'm at work right now, and it was like, hey, can you come out and shoot a commercial with us real quick? We want you in your mural. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, man. You know? So that's my job. This is how I dress at work. This is me at work. You know, I be chilling, man. So some people, this is who I work with. As you may notice, there's a guy right there, and then there's me, and a bunch of women. I work with mostly women.
Reentry program is a multifaceted initiative designed to address the complex challenges faced by prison inmates during their reintegration process by providing a safe and supportive environment for individuals to confront and address their.
It's buffering. But this is me at work. Like, my job is.
Issues. This program empowers inmates to make healthier choices and break the cycles of recidivism, focusing on critical areas such as financial literacy, healthy relationships, anger management, creative expression.
Yeah, so this is me and the mayor. This is actually the mayor of the city at my job. She just stops in, takes selfies with the mayor at work. Once again, it's a heavy, it's definitely a woman dominated field, but you know, I be standing out. You know, I be up there doing my thing with all the ladies, trying to do good for the community, trying to set good examples. So, and then like I say, they realize that it's family first. So on a day like today when I just can't come to work, I need to be home, and I just say, hey, I need to be home, and they're like, fine, don't worry about it. Let us know if there's anything we can do. Do you need any help? Can I call somebody for you? Do you need me to bring you anything? And so it's just like, do you have videos uploaded of you doing painting from start to finish? Yeah. If you go to my reels. So what I do is, once again, where's this library? Oh, well, maybe I have videos here, or maybe not. I put most of them on my TikTok. I do stuff like this. So I try to like take it in phases so you can see like the whole process as they go through. But the main way is like my YouTube channel. I'm always on YouTube. I do most of my like do everything on YouTube. So if you catch me on whatever day that I started painting on YouTube, and you can kind of see them from beginning to end.
Start taking notes.
Cause these things they take so long. You know, I'm putting 60, 70, 80 hours into a painting. So it's like, and to catch the entire process is tough, but like I do try to capture like phases of it, you know, the earliest phases, so you can kind of see how it starts out. And it's a slow process, so it's hard to like do catch the whole 80 hours that it takes. But you know, I do time lapses. I try to catch a lot of the, you know, the major phases of it. I'm not gonna lie, for this piece I've actually been slacking a lot. I don't think I have as much content of this particular piece that I'm working on now. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I'm slacking lately, but it would be crazy to have like an entire like 80 hours like crunched down into like just 2 or 3 minutes of like the whole process. Like the camera's on it the whole time. You know what? I may try to do something like that. I wonder. Hmm. Yeah, that's the only way, man. Yeah. Well, for PlayStation, Playroom. Or you could just go straight to my YouTube channel. I'm actually live on YouTube now. But yeah, murals. Did a couple murals, and that one that I did on my job is probably the biggest mural painting I've ever done. Like that shit is that wall is like 40 feet tall. I think it's that painting is like 40 feet by 20 feet or something like that. This shit is big as shit, bro. And my man who helped me with that shit, yo, we got that shit done in 5 days. But we was doing like 10-hour days though, 10 to 11-hour days out that bitch. We got that shit done in 5 days, less than a week. You know, from prepping the wall, I'm talking about from prepping and washing to putting the sealer coat on there. That shit wasn't up but 5 days. Oh, definitely, I got you. Come on, man. You already know. Bob Ross was the inspiration for everybody. And see, uh, right before Bob Ross would come on, it was this lady. She had this painting show called One Stroke Painting with Barbara something. I can't remember her name. But she would do like these really cool, kind of almost like paint and sip type paintings. But they were really pretty. And you know, she only had 30 minutes, like just like Bob. And so she can do a painting in just one session and show you different techniques where you can just do like not a lot of blending and all of that, just kind of like one stroke painting. Really cool show. And then after her show, then Bob Ross, the joy of painting with Bob Ross, his show came on, and he can do a painting in 30 minutes. But his was a little more in depth, of course. And then right after Bob Ross went off, there was another guy who came on. I can't remember his name. His name was like Robert or something, but he did watercolors, and he couldn't do a painting in one session because his watercolors were like really detailed big canvases, and so you would see like a process that he would do, and you know, each episode he'll come back to that same painting, and he used masking in some areas, and I don't know, his shit was real cool as shit too, man. So there was like this hour and 30-minute window where it was nothing but art programs, and that was my fucking sweet zone. That shit came on like soon as I got home from school. So I would watch those programs as I did my homework, and I grew up on fucking um, Mr. Rogers and fucking Bob Ross. Yo, that was my shit, bro.
And there's a lot of like fun facts about Bob Ross. They say that 85% of people who watched his show never painted in their life, never wanted to paint. They just like listening to him and watching him paint. It was the one of the most earliest forms of this ASMR type thing where you just like make sounds or whatever. Like people said they would put Bob Ross on to help them go to sleep. Just his voice was so soothing and the noise of the brush on the canvas. It was like some of the most calming, relaxing things ever, yo. And I don't know, that I think that's what I liked about it the most. It was like just the way he talked. It just made painting seem like so simple and like anybody can do it. So he was probably one of my first introductions into actually understanding how to paint. As I can imagine, he was probably that guy for, I mean, thousands of people. His show ran for forever. He had like 11 years, 12 years or something. Then he died, and the people who bought out his fucking name, like just shitting on his son and shitting on the whole family, and they make all these Bob Ross products. Cause I still got mine. This is when I first started painting. In 2009, I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought a Bob Ross starter paint set. And this is the palette knife that came in my Bob Ross starter paint set. And I didn't know that his family doesn't make any money from the use of his name. That shit is weird and fucked up in so many ways. It's just like, damn. And so now I still love Bob Ross, but I don't buy his products anymore. I don't buy the products because they're not his. It just this motherfucker just used his name. So don't buy Bob Ross shit. Don't buy nothing that got Bob Ross on it, cause his family don't get none of that shit. I think that need to be a little darker right there. Here we go. I feel like I'm about to fuck this shit up, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. I'm just smushing colors around, honestly. Close your eyes. Don't nobody need to watch this part. I'm trying to figure something out real quick in real time. Now this is dark, and this is I need to squish some right here with a little cadmium orange. I think I'm gonna use cadmium orange and some golden ochre, maybe. Let's see what this look like. All right, this is orange and ochre. That I don't know if that feels right. Oh man, I'm gonna just keep going with it. I don't know. I'm gonna add some Naples yellow, some cadmium orange, some Naples yellow, some golden ochre. Let's see if this feels better, cause I'm gonna need it like right here. I don't know. I don't, you know, hey, it is what it is. Damn, let me see. See, I tell you, man, I ain't Bob Ross, man. Either you get it right or you fucking it up. Ain't no happy mistakes over here. I feel like I'm about to fuck this shit up, and now I'm getting frustrated. Oh man, this is the thing. This is one of the most amazing things about this dude Bob Ross, yo. For every painting you saw him paint, He actually did 2 other ones. He painted everything 3 times. Everything. And I'm like, what the, who can do that? Who can, but what he would do is, he would do a warm-up, practice painting, before the show, and then he would do a painting during the show, and then they said most of the time he would take that idea and do a more detailed, in-depth version of the painting. So he painted almost every image 3 times, the same painting. This motherfucker had thousands, literally thousands of paintings, thousands. I wish I could just dedicate myself that much. And then, like I say, so he did a 30-minute show. So even I can imagine, like, if he did take his time with one of his pieces, and he put 2 or 3 hours into a painting to give it that extra pop, that extra detail. That's still a lot of fucking hours. And see, with me, I've been in here for 2 hours already. I ain't even paint a finger. I ain't even finished painting a finger in 2 hours. It's a difference. And I get frustrated with the fingers, and the hands and toes and stuff. But I don't even know where to go from here. Man, look, I think I need to take a smoke break. Honestly. What y'all think? Should I continue to paint, or should I take a smoke break? Continue to paint or take a smoke break? I'm leaning heavy. I'm leaning heavy on the left-hand cigarette right now, so I can recenter and focus with my my meditation medication. Oh shit! There go the phone starting to chirp. That might be that lady coming to telling me she got somebody coming to clean up this tree out my yard. This guy got recoup. It's always good to turn away from the canvas for a little bit too, even if it's just like 10-15 minutes. Just stop looking at it completely, because you keep staring at the same thing for an hour and hours and hours, and then you start missing like some of the obvious stuff. So every hour or so, it is good to just kind of turn away from it, relax your eyes, look at something else. They call it coming back with fresh eyes. Normally, like they say, if you get frustrated, just set it down and leave it for the day. Come back to it tomorrow and look at it and see, with some fresh eyes, and see where it's at, man. What was giving you so many issues? Why you can't figure this part of it out? Why aren't the colors blending properly? You know what I'm saying? Are you even blending the right color? That might be your damn problem. You got Naples yellow when you need yellow ochre. Simple as that. But you can't see that shit. You got Van Dyke brown when you really needed some burnt umber. Just a little tonal difference to cool it off a little bit. And that's all it would have been. But you were staring at it for so long you couldn't even see. You can't see the forest for the trees, motherfucker. Back up. You're too close to the situation right now. You're too close to it. Back up for a second. You're thinking too hard. Like what I'm doing right now, I don't even know. I'm thinking too much at the wrong times. I'm doing the dumb shit. I'm talking about the dumb shit and doing the dumb shit as I'm explaining how the dumb shit works, and just fucking up all over again. See? I know I need a bathroom break and a smoke break. That's exactly what I need. I think that's my issues right now. My bladder is full and my head is clear. Ooh, I like that though. Now wait till I start putting that white up in there. Boy, that's what that shit be like. Pop, pop. You put that little bit of speck of little white, that shit pop, 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 pop. I gotta try it before I take a break, because I'm already at that point anyway. yeah. Start getting them highlights in there. That shit, that's that part right there. That'd be that part that I be talking about. Don't be so nervous, nigga. Just put the brush down. Just touch it. Touch it. Ah. Shit. You know how you gotta brush a baby head when it still got a soft spot? You gotta do it real delicately. That's how I be feeling sometimes. Ugh. Cause just too much pressure. It's too much pressure, man. Pop. Oh man, that little bit of white paint just make them knuckles look all extra ashy, popping out like a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside. We're gonna take a bathroom break like a minute ago. I really need to go to the bathroom. Torture myself now. Just straight up torture. You know what I'm saying? For no logical reason other than this nigga hate to put the paintbrush down. Just put the brush down and go to the bathroom, bro. You can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do it real delicately. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be a warrior in a garden instead of a gardener in a war. Feel me? Alright, I'm breaking for real. Real quick. I got to go. Let's see. Set this down. I'm gonna set this down. Yo, feel good. What's good, bro? I didn't even check you over there in the on the YouTube channel.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story.
Nobody don't give a fuck about
These
that.
types of companies.
Alright, I'll be right back, guys.
When it comes to field operations and kind of the stuff that I was doing in my arena as a special operator, I don't know about what they're doing and how they play in with this black budget stuff. And so I'd like to go through a couple of the companies and just have you just educate me and the audience about it. Let's start with Lockheed Skunk Works.
Well, of course, the Skunk Works, dates back to the 50s and 60s. Kelly Johnson, whose, by the way, UFO encounter report we have, was given to us by Lieutenant Colonel Heckert, who knew him, who was our U-2 spy plane witness who encountered these objects as a U-2 pilot. But, and then, of course, Ben Rich. Ben Rich was the head of the Lockheed Skunk Works and acknowledged towards the end of his period there that they had technologies that could, quote, take ET home. He also stated there are no private conversations anywhere on the earth. True. No matter what your encryption is. And also he said that anything you imagine, we've already done at the Skunk Works. Now, there's the Skunk Works that would deal with a conventional jet, rocket, ramjet type classified aircraft, right? But then there's another division that is the deep black. I want to make a distinction between the black budget and highly classified, legally overseen projects. Mm-hmm. Here I'm talking about, there's a guy I'm working with now who literally oversees the black budget of the United States. He was never read in on the UFO or UAP issue. And when he tried to find out, he went out to the Lockheed Skunk Works, he was shown a bunch of these conventional propulsion systems. He was not shown the ones that are the man-made UFOs, that are the electrogravitics, the things that float, boom, 100,000 miles per hour. So I think that that's one of the problems, is that there's almost two parallel systems, and there's very little points of intersection between the two, what I call the constitutional government of the United States. I just call it the USG, the U.S. government, legal. And then there's the illegal secret government projects, okay, the ISG. So there are compartmented operations at the Lockheed Skunk Works dealing very specifically with this area of technology, which has nothing to do with rockets, jets, conventional aerodynamics. It has to deal with electrogravitics, which is the ability to create a very high voltage system that causes a electromagnetic field propulsion. So there's almost like an electromagnetic field bubble around an object. It can levitate, lift, and it can go, Mach 300 and never have a sonic boom and no heat on the outer section of it. These are very advanced technologies. Now,
the hands starting to look good.
Studied back long before I was born, and I turned 68 this week, so you can imagine how long we've had these things. We actually mastered gravity control in October 1954. One of the members of my team for many years was in the vault. He was the top scientist at the Naval Research Labs, the very large Department of Defense lab. And he saw the documentation for this. So, and I think what the public, and this is true of the senators and the congressmen and the White House, they are not read into these other projects. They simply aren't. I had a friend of Trump's tell me this past weekend that he said they just don't tell us much or anything, or very little. So I think that these sort of operations, as Eisenhower warned, have just gotten out of constitutional legal oversight. So I call those the illegal secret government projects. But those are in the Lockheed Skunk Works. So there's facilities out in the desert. If you go out to the
Stephen Greer be talking that stuff.
A facility in an underground opening. So the really sensitive facilities are all in underground skiffs or DUMS, deep underground military base facilities. And that whole area of California is like a beehive connected underneath with tunnels.
Okay.
I know where they are. I know people who've worked in them. Now remember,
are those all Lockheed?
No, because those are actually built by Bechtel Corporation for HIT construction. There are a few contractors who build these underground connectors. And for years they used a nuclear-powered tunneling device that would go through bedrock and just glassify it. So you'd have a connecting tunnel between, say, Edwards Air Force Base and Nellis Range. And you'd never have to go above the surface. So I'm very familiar with these and where they're located, and I've debriefed a number of guys who've been on them. So it's all part of
what's good?
Let's call it a coalition of operations that are corporate, contractors, and governmental, but governmental as in
I'm just chilling in the studio.
Of legal oversight and
I do this every once in a while too. You wanna walk through the crib real quick?
Moving quickly to get this under control, because about a year and a half ago.
So this is studio. This is actual workspace area.
UAPs, UFOs are real.
I can't zoom out a little bit.
Realize there are a bunch of them.
So yeah, this is actual
but they're being used
getting it in area.
Indications and warnings, meaning false flag operations. So this, of course, is the topic that I brought up to
my weird little setup where I stream live on from the PlayStation to YouTube live. I got the PS4 Pro.
Some of these objects you think might be extraterrestrial, but they're ours.
iPad.
So Lockheed has some of those.
Another spare iPad just in case. A laptop with Bluetooth speaker. So the studio is all equipped for streaming live. Of course, got a fucking mini fridge and a microwave up there because I'd be up there for so many fucking hours.
Large, triangular, and other shapes. But so many of these objects that people think they see a UFO. Well, it's a UFO to them because they don't know how to identify it. So one of the things we're doing is juxtaposing an interstellar vehicle, extraterrestrial vehicle, with a man-made one, and what are the characteristics and differences? Because operationally and tactically, the Pentagon and the White House and Congress need to know this. Otherwise, recognize they're sitting ducks to be deceived by all manner of nonsense.
Who are the other players? So we got Lockheed, Skunk Works, we got Raytheon, we got Northrop Grumman. Is Boeing involved in this?
Yes, there's a division of Boeing that absolutely is involved. General Motors has traditionally, and Ford, and General Electric for sure, and EG&G. EG&G is a major player in this space, as well as Raytheon and TRW. Booz Allen Hamilton has an aspect that deals with this problem.
So, are these, and then there was the construction company who's building these underground facilities.
The Bechtel Corporation and HIT Construction.
So are these companies competing with each other?
They do get into competing bids. It's a very interesting story. One of my whistleblowers who's still too afraid to come forward, that I've dealt with for about 7 years, was 10 years in the Pentagon and worked in a very classified operation deep underneath the Pentagon. And he was read in across 18 of these unacknowledged SAPs, unacknowledged special access projects, dealing with this issue.
Just talking about your job, just the description of your job, and I caught the part where you said that part of your job description is you teach art to the kids, and that really got my attention because I've been wanting to have a job where I can teach art to children. My question to you is that did the job require you to have an art education background, like like a degree in art education, or no? Because I would like to get a job where I teach kids art, but avoid having to have an art education. I mean, I went to school for art, but like I was saying, I went to school for art. I went to art school, so in a sense, I do have an education in art. But the thing is, I don't have a degree in art education. So my question to you is that, like I said, did your job require you to have a degree specifically in art education, or no?
Well, I was on Instagram Live, but it I might need to actually get off. Um, um, yeah, my my Instagram got cut because I guess it went too long. Or I'm not sure why it got cut. Maybe because I was smoking on Instagram. They don't like that shit. But it is what it is. Poor connection. That'd probably be another reason why too. Because my internet sucks all the way up here. Well, I was gonna give a house tour right before my last stream got cut. I'll see if a couple people wanna jump in before I walk through the crib one time. Like I say, I don't even know if I should do that right now because I ain't even clean up this morning. I'm trying to think now. I might be too embarrassed to show everybody my crib right now. Cause yeah, I don't know. I might give a house tour later. I get a question. Somebody asked me yesterday, like, where do you keep all your paintings at? And it's like they're in my house. And it's hard to understand that shit. But I have a big house, and it's just like my house is literally a gallery. It's like a little art gallery, and so I have art all in every room in the house. I don't have anywhere. Where am I getting this from? Is it on my pants? That shit is on my pants. Damn. I didn't even see none of that. I got all kind of purple paint on me. Talk about be yourself. Stay true to yourself. Yo, thank you. But a little trick that people don't know: oil can cut oil. Baby oil can actually thin out oil paint and help get it off, and it smells good. So if you're ever in a little situation and you got some oil paint on you, you're like, what do I do? You just get more oil. I must have been up there for a minute. I think it's on my pants, and then when I did that and put my hand on my pants, that means, is it on the bottom of my palette? I don't know where I got that. Where did it? Well, I don't know how it got on me. But yeah, and so yo, there's a lot of purple. There's a lot of purple paint on me. What the heck, man? Wait a minute. My morning is going good. I'm painting myself to look like fucking Barney and Grimace up in this thing this morning. Like, I don't know. Alright. I think that's as much as I'm gonna get off. But even when with my brushes, poor connection. I'm getting this poor connection thing. So oh, did I freeze? Oh, this is terrible. Are we still in there? That was crazy. So this is thinner, which is this. And this is actually baby oil. Well, my John keeps saying poor connection. I might need to
just had to end that because it kept popping up over and over, poor connection, and kept freezing and shit. Nah, it's still sitting in the yard right now. I'm um I need to check my email real quick. All right, so I think I need to go pick up my art from this exhibit that I had. So there was another reason it was kind of good for me to take today off because I got to get this tree out the yard and my show is coming down, so I needed time to go grab this anyway. So I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully by the time I get back, this lady and whoever should be here to get this tree out the yard. And she asked me if I could move my truck out the way, which is perfect because I need my truck to go pick my art up anyhow. So yeah, another day off. I'm just burning through my vacation time with some staycations, just chilling at home. But it's good though. Like as of Friday, like this last Friday, I had like 60 hours of vacation time already stacked up. And we get 15 hours a month. So like all the days I burnt now, I'll get that back before the end of the year. And plus we have all the major holidays coming up, especially like Thanksgiving and Christmas time and New Year's. And so like towards the end of the year, I still wind up having like an ass of vacation time, you know. An ass vacation time. I get like over a month of vacation time a year. So I had 60 hours, and then our work days are technically 7.5 hours, so you take 2 days off. You know, it's 15 hours. So I burnt like 20 something hours. That still ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 days, I'm only burning like a little over 20 hours out of a pot of 60 hours. So over 90. You better use that shit, bro. Fuck that. That's how my supervisor was at the end of last year. Yo, like just like now, like this time, no, it was probably later in the year. It was probably like it was like August or September. She had like 80, 90 hours. At the end of the year, it's like, I got a couple months to burn all that shit up. Yo, she was taking weeks off at a time, yo. Like trying to run through that shit. And then, like I say, once you bump into the fucking Christmas period, man, you get fucking 3, 4 days off for Christmas, and then right after that, you get another 3 days off for New Year's. Sometimes, just like, damn. We get to roll over 20 hours
You get to carry 20 hours into the new year, but you have to use it in January. You have to use it in January. And then we get 5 days bereavement leave. We get 2 personal days and 3 sick days. I don't know, like maternity leave or nothing like that. Like I say I get ass of time off. So all right, yeah. Let me go grab this art now and try to be back by the time this lady gets here. Take 2 vacations. One of my coworkers say she going to fucking Egypt in September. I need to take a real vacation like that, you know. I just go on trips. I remember one comedian tried to explain the difference between a trip and a vacation. Like, motherfuckers don't take no real vacation. Y'all just go on trips, man. You go on a trip to the beach. They ain't no vacation. You use a passport on vacation, nigga. Or go somewhere for weeks at a time. I need a real vacation. But they seem so expensive. Real vacations cost thousands of dollars. I don't want to go to London. You know what? Almost did the dum-dum. I better clean my brushes out before I leave. Yep, just got the email confirmation. I asked the lady, can I come between 9:30 and 10 o'clock to pick the art up and shit? Like, that's fine. And so it's about a 40-minute drive from here. So if I leave now, I'll be there around 9:30, 10 o'clock. All right. All right. We out of here. I'll be back later. Peace.